Like I got
Hey,
a horn on top of
we,
my
we
head.
we go. We got our countdown. Welcome. Sessions QC, the hottest podcast on the quad. Today we're continuing the series of PTSD. We got Miss Bree Sanders Davis. I want to make sure I said the right name. She's joining us, man. Me and this young lady, we go back forever, man. So this is an honor and a privilege to have you here to talk about this because both of us had past trauma issues or dealing with incarceration or PTSD. And thank you for joining. Had
Thank
to
you
give
for
you a round
having
of
me.
applause.
Thank you.
So dealing with this, we were just discussing your understanding of having PTSD. What was it like coming into that knowledge and understanding you needed someone to talk to and to help?
Well, when I first started going, it was mandated. You had to have a psych evaluation. You know what I'm saying? They mandated that stuff in your conviction papers.
For
Like
sure.
you had to go to this class, you had to go to some type of treatment, and that's just not mandated anymore. They have privatized the prisons, so people
Hmm.
not getting the education, or they're not learning the trades or being able to address the issues. They just getting cattled around, just
It's
institutionalized.
institutionalization. I can't say it either, so don't worry about it.
Right, you understood.
For sure. But I would like to first off get into your history of what led to you, you know what I'm saying, going to prison and then finding yourself.
Misbehaving.
Mm.
I mean, serious. I was a follower. I was an only child. I looked up to my elders. I grew up with my grandmother, so my aunts and uncles was like my big brothers and sisters.
Right.
So where, you can't even correct your children today, or your niece or your nephews. You can't, my aunts and uncles, they chastised me if I got out of line and I disrespected my granny or I showed out in the streets. I got corrected,
For sure.
and everybody was going to prison where I was from. My uncle was in prison, my aunt was in prison, my mom was in prison, my stepdad. You know what I'm saying? So when it was time to go, I figured I was going anyway. Unfortunately,
You know what? That's crazy that you said that. I've never told nobody that, but back before I went to prison, I predicted my incarceration. I told a teacher, she like, don't you care about? I said, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I'm gonna be in prison for robbery or murder. I already know what I'm gonna do in life. And sadly, the thought spoke it,
and it
proceeded to action.
manifested.
You know what I'm
Absolutely,
you know what I'm
absolutely.
saying? And that's fucked up to realize that I thought that was my destiny, my and I fulfilled it.
Yeah, I mean, so like I said, it was a Department of Corrections for me because my
Mm.
uncle then was calling like, "What the fuck is wrong with you? Why is you going to jail?" And excuse my language, I
You cool,
apologize.
you cool. We grown, we
Okay,
grown, we
yeah,
grown, we
right.
grown. We can do
So
this.
literally, he was calling me like, "Is you crazy?" Because he was locked up. He was like, "Bree, it's time to break the cycle." And it, you could. Do you want to see Rashid going to prison? And
Mm.
then when I was in incarcerated, even my roommates, the people that I would get connected with and play Scrabble with, they would ask me like, why do you keep coming here? You smart, you go to school, you come here, you get the best jobs, you work out. Like what is wrong with you? You know, and I just kind of had to snap out of it. It was just the ugly truths. Like
Right.
even the guy who raised me, pretty much, he asked me like, so when you coming to visit? And I was like, what you mean
Oh.
when I'm coming to visit? He was like, because that's your home. When you get out, you visiting, because you do the same shit and you going right back.
Hmm. And, and,
And
and and that cycle is hard to break. What was you saying?
that's
You get
it
four,
hurt, you know what I'm saying?
you take two, they take four back.
And so The last time I made a conscious decision. Mental health. I was sick and tired of being sick and tired. Very. I was always searching for a power greater than myself.
For sure.
So whatever service they had, whether it was Catholic services, Christian services, I'm fasting for Ramadan. I took my shahada. I did everything I thought I was supposed to do because I was looking. I was searching because I was so angry because if this was life was, I didn't want no parts of it.
Mm.
They had put me on so many medications. I saw people come to prison talking like you and I. And when next time I seen them, they a zombie.
That
Man, I
shit
quit
crazy.
taking that. I quit taking that stuff immediately. Sometimes I got it late, but I got it. You know
You
what
know
I'm
what I'm
saying?
saying? We are knuckleheads, but we are one and the same damn near. You know what I'm saying? Our upbringings were we was right there together. We,
Hmm.
you know what I'm saying? They was parallel, and the shit that we did. I wasn't a bad kid, but I was a bad kid. You know what I'm saying?
I just make poor decisions. I made
Or
bad
decisions.
decisions.
We made a lot
Absolutely.
of
My
we made a
decision
lot of
making
them.
was. Hmm.
But that was being a child, and we had to go through that. But we thought we was being grown at the same time. We was the decisions we were making were decisions that were too far advanced for us at that time.
And that's why they always said, you better stay in a child's place. You think you want to be grown. We didn't
And when
know what grown meant because grown mean got your own.
man,
You,
grown
you know,
men
you're
being
not
able to
grown
take
if you
responsibility.
parenting from the penitentiary. You're
Mm,
not grown if your kids like I'm talking about me though.
for sure.
I had a son out here and he was a boy and I couldn't parent from the penitentiary. And my grandfather had to tell me that. He's like, you can't call home barking demands like you John got it. What the fuck what you gonna do? You ain't sent no money. You ain't bought this boy you ain't did nothing. You don't know what this boy going through.
That's a harsh reality to accept, ain't it?
It was the men in my life that was talking to me that didn't sugarcoat stuff for me.
For sure. And
Mm,
sometimes we need that more than
absolutely.
anything. A lot of people do stuff for us and try to code it and to make us feel like, oh, it's gonna be all right. You can do. Nah,
Yeah.
motherfucker, you fucking
No,
up. It's
no.
time. It's time now. How much more do you got to keep doing this shit? I tell people, for me, my realization was when I took accountability and responsibility for myself. Quit blaming other people for why I was in jail. You know what I'm saying? It was as much as it hurt being of a street dude, so called. You know what I'm saying? And the codes that we live by, but to find out people don't live by those codes, that hurts. But if you wouldn't have never did it with them, they wouldn't have never had nothing to say against you. You know what I'm saying? So accountability and responsibility was my big thing,
Hmm.
and I see a lot of stuff with children these days. Like you say, you can't even punish a child no more, a niece, a nephew, you know what I'm saying, without the parent. Man, man,
Don't
it
talk
takes
to
a
my don't.
village. It takes a village for real,
Absolutely.
and that's where we lost. I remember going, boy, I acted out on the street. Goddamn, I got my ass whooped from where I acted out at till I got home, and then got whooped again
That part.
because everybody parent was able to touch you, especially when you was fucking up. You know what I'm saying? So that's a different. We don't have that era. We don't have that no more. People want to be friends more than parents. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad.
Yeah. No.
You know,
I always told my son, I'm not your friend. I'm not your bruh. Man, bruh. I'm
don't
not
do
your
that.
bruh. I'm your mama. I gave birth to you.
Mm,
You know what I'm saying? I gave you life. And you the male version of me. Because I did what I thought I was supposed to do. And my husband had to tell me, he was like, babe, you was raised like a nigga. You wasn't soft and feminine, and then you raised your son to be a nigga. And this is the difference between a nigga and a man.
mm. For
It's
sure.
between a difference between a bitch and a lady.
Mm.
He was like, I don't allow my friends don't call me. I don't call my friends bitch. You know what I'm saying? If I use that word, I mean that.
Cause I don't
And
not like.
so I mean, I use my words carefully, like you
Mm.
said. We said we was gonna be this, that, and that's what we were.
Mm.
And I said I was gonna leave a legacy for my grandchildren, and now I'm building the foundation. I speak differently. I move differently. I don't have the PTSD. I mean, don't I ain't gonna say that because my husband had to tell me not long ago. He's like, "Babe, you're not in prison no more." He was like, I was washing my gym shoes. He was like, "If you see me over here washing my gym shoes, put them down or sit down." He was like, "You ain't got to stay in the bathroom. We got a whole house."
Right. See,
So,
see, mine different.
what
Me
do
and
you mean?
my stepson, right? I was looking at stuff like this here in life. I don't. I've never talked about this with anyone, really. You know what I'm saying? So my PTSD came in the form of this here. My stepson started stealing from me, and this little stuff, the same shit I used to do. Can't be mad at that, right? But with this PTSD that I got, I can't allow a nigga to take shit from me. I'm not looking at him as a son no more. I'm looking at it. You know what I'm saying? Can't be no two alphas in here right now. I'm not looking at it as a child being a child, and that was fucked up on me. And ever since I stopped looking at it, our
How
relationship
old was
got better.
he?
Oh man, this is what is
I
he?
mean, at the time.
15, 15, 16. You know what I'm saying? He's still a child.
Understood.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm looking at it different.
The part that you played in it, correct?
Yeah, I'm looking at my part. I'm looking at
Mm-hmm.
it me, how I'm looking at him. I can't allow a nigga to take shit from me. I'm not looking at it. This is my son. He's doing childish things. You gotta accept
Let's
that.
sit down. No, we gotta
Let's talk
discuss
about it.
this.
You
We're
gotta
gonna
discuss it.
discuss it. I'm not gonna accept it because if I accept it, then you're gonna think you could do it again. And I may be having a rough day that day, and you might get the other side of my Gemini. So
Yeah.
because I've been this is my second husband,
Right.
and both of my husband had children. So I'm not these children's mother. You know what I'm saying? You 13, you listening to what your mama's saying, but I can't choke slam you. I can't be in here fighting these kids. I love your husband. And then, so I had to sit down and I had to talk to her and had to communicate effectively, because kids will test you.
Most
You know,
definitely.
they listen, and once they out of the age of innocence, they're responsible for their action too.
Oh, dope. For sure. But it's the way you deal with it instead of
Absolutely.
me taking it under the aspect like, man, I'm back
We,
in prison. Nigga
we
take
not in prison
this. Yeah,
now.
nigga take this. What man,
No,
I can't
but
go.
you not in prison no more.
And that's the sad part. I had to understand that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I can laugh at it now because,
Understood. Absolutely.
but
How long have you been home?
this is going on 9 years.
Okay. This
June.
is year 14 for me. But see, I still feel like I was gone 17 and a half years. From 17 to 34, prison was a revolving door. You
Right.
know, Recidivism was real.
For
But
sure.
at one time, when you went home, they prepared you for the streets. They cooked you a meal. They taught you a class, and they taught you how to build a resume. You left with a trade.
For sure.
They tested you to tell you what type of jobs you would be
Good at.
good at.
Shit now. Illinois give you $10 a bus ticket until you help you make it, my nigga.
And they make bets on how long it's gonna take
You
for
know,
you to get back.
right. And if you don't have that strong support system, it's rough.
And the
You know what
system is set up exactly how it's supposed to. You know what I'm saying? It ain't set up for you to succeed
I'm saying? Man,
because if it was, the recidivism rate wouldn't be so big. People wouldn't be having TikToks and cash apps in prison. You know what I'm
that
saying?
shit blows me continuously. Like y'all trying to make this shit seem like it's fun to be there. This
So
is what
y'all
we
kicking it,
right. Come on here, hang out with us. sixty
man.
dollars worth of Dollar General snacks on the floor. You and your three homies are
All
put
that
together to buy.
disgusting ass food. That food had me 272 pounds, and
Woo!
I couldn't use the back, man.
Man,
Laying on that brick and steel,
that shit
you
is
know,
not fun. Why the fuck?
wearing tires for boots. It's 110 with you.
You ain't got no gym shoes. You gotta go hoop in boots.
You
The
know,
Mexicans, you gotta hoop
you're
in boots
trying
because
to
all the
play
Mexicans got
volleyball,
on
they mad at
boots.
you because you just scuffed the floor. And I'm like, I buffed these motherfuckers. No,
Shit like
but
that.
serious.
But people don't understand that shit is. Don't get me wrong. You find people that you able to bit with around. You know what I'm saying? You find your crowd. But in the same token, that shit me and my homies did not make it seem like yeah, nigga, this the best shit we never did in life.
No, absolutely not. I mean,
I
you
had
better not have them because that's what make you keep coming back.
right.
You
I
wear
was
your
walking the
own
yard.
clothes. You going to college. You go. You booed up. Cause I
Right.
ain't. I couldn't front. I was booed up. And
Huh.
when I went in there when I was young, I had one on every unit. Shit. It was so. It was just when I say it was another world, it was another world. So I get it, but I don't want my grandkids to think
To
that
go
shit is
through that
fun.
for sure.
It's not fun.
It's
Cause and like I told my son, I don't have no money for JPay or Securus or none of that shit. I got grandkids that need things,
for
and
sure.
it's just unfair because they be angry at you and they ain't not angry, but they want their dad. I didn't lay down to make these kids, but I'm trying to. And it's different when you're not the mother. You're not connected to the mother. You connected to the son, and the son ain't doing what the hell he's supposed to do as a father.
Right.
But I told him I can't teach you how to be a man. I didn't teach you. I can't teach you how to be a father either. What I can do is I can show you great examples.
Hmm.
What I can do is I'm gonna show you the type of father you should have had. Like if I was thinking differently, because seriously, I came when I was in prison. I had to sit back and think like, do I want a family? I mean, am I gonna be raising my son, having them confused, and do I want more kids? I critically thought,
Right.
and I did. I wanted to show him a man that hadn't been to prison, that what military man, somebody that loved his mother and respected the creator and knew who he was.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Somebody who was gonna love me with no buts, but keep it 100 with me. My husband didn't know me when I was writing Diamond in the Rough. I am a testimony. That shit
Right.
was hard
For
because I
sure.
had to relive that shit.
So where
You
can
know
they
what I'm
find that at? Where can they find Diamond and Rough?
Diamond in the Rough, I am a testimony. It's on Amazon and Kindle. You can get a special order at Barnes and Noble. And I'm actually working on a couple more things like
That's
books
dope.
and
That's
because
dope.
I'm still talking. I'm still alive. I'm still a walking, talking, breathing testimony because I don't know a person. I don't know a family. I don't care what hue of man or
Hmm.
woman that you are that is not affected by somebody that's been incarcerated, addicted, or it's got there's so many unhoused people and people that suffering from mental health. It's a people thing. It's a
Right.
societal thing.
And at some point, we got to take responsibility and help out, do our part.
Yeah. I mean, and we
Okay.
start like just being honest and being transparent. Maybe somebody they may not ever admit to it or talk about it, but in the back of their mind, they're like, "Yeah, I can relate."
For
You
sure.
know, you know.
They know.
So,
They feel it. They feel it. They hear the real talk in this shit. They feel it. You know what I'm saying? So
you're like, I
what else?
had to fake it to make it for so long. Like now that
Hey,
I can just
you know, only people who know that saying for real is jailbird. You was in jail, learned that motherfucker. Make it till you make it. That's a jail saying for real.
like to be aware is to be alive. If it don't apply, let it fly. You know,
all them page 4. You know what I'm
we was
saying?
signifying, not even knowing we signifying, but real stuff that's apropos that you can apply to your life.
Man,
Got to give it
and
away in order to keep it. So
man, you got to. I'm so glad. How many books? You just only wrote the one book
I have only written one book thus
that's
far.
published.
Okay, so I have only published
Just one book. I
one
knew that.
book. but
Let's
I
talk
have
about it, Bree.
written several books.
The show.
So,
We ready to?
what I love about it is I had good people in my corner who believed in me, who remember when I was locked up, and then they came home years later and they're like, "Girl, you still writing that book?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Then let me see, because I had self-published and sent the copy home because I wanted to copyright it because I just
Oh
felt
no,
like,
people don't even know that though. You know that you mail your stuff home was a form of copyright.
yep, I had all type of little, even before, I don't know, I guess I was forward thinking, and I'm not gonna lie, Eric, when I when I had my breakdown after I robbed the bank, like the feds came and they was questioning me and it was like, you just came home. You want to be a mother or a grandmother? We know you robbed the bank. You know what I'm saying? Well, I was always taught I ain't finna tell on me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
Yeah,
telling. I don't, you know what I'm saying? But they had some damning evidence.
most definitely.
And I went back in that cell and I just broke. And I had just came home, and I promised Rashid I wasn't going back. He was at that age where he was asking questions, and so I said all that to say, it's just it's good to be aware and ask questions and talk to people. So many people say, oh, I ain't depressed, or this, that, and the other. Do you even know what depression look like?
Man,
You know what I'm saying? It's just certain
disguises
things,
yourself in the form of you going to work every day thinking you're standing until that breakdown hits you.
and you never know when it's gonna come because we built to hold stuff and hold stuff and hold stuff. And
At some
I
point, it's
I
gotta
really
break.
did. You gonna implode if you don't.
Man,
You better talk to somebody. You gotta trust somebody. So whether that be a person in spirit or however you choose to communicate, you have to communicate.
find
Don't
somebody to
hold that
kill.
stuff in.
Please don't. Most
Yes.
definitely. The farmer. That's dope.
The farmer. Hmm.
And
Yeah, that's my grandkids. I feel like they killing us with this food. All
man,
the all the pesticides and
and
the
everything.
hormones, and got these kids. Whatever. I want my grandkids to want to do this, adopt because they love animals. They love the dogs.
Man, the eggs,
They
the
can't
price of
wait to see.
eggs, the price of eggs is out the roof. You can make a killing on black market eggs. So I want a couple of chickens. My dog just gonna kill them if I leave them in the
No, it won't. No, it won't. You better train them or get you some farm dogs.
For sure.
Shit.
Most definitely. So, Miss Bree, thank you so very much for
Thank you
being
so very much.
Sessions' first guest via this streaming services. I want to thank you so much for sharing your story and not being afraid to talk. Thank you for being a friend for so many years because you were a great link in me being able to sustain reality when I first started bidding. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So thank you. I never forget the kindness that you showed then.
And I think because I used to see a lot of people who, like, even if I didn't remember them, they remembered me. And they were like, man, you just a ray of sunshine. You still smiling, like, because they was putting it in the news, and, you know, we not kind. You know what I'm saying? We don't say, like, I remember that girl from school. She didn't used to act like that. Or, what happened? People don't ask questions. We just automatically start kikiing
Yeah,
and cacaing and judging, and, just get to know people, get to the root of the problem, and,
most
if we
definitely.
all heal, maybe we can stop all this.
Super nonsense. We
Yeah,
gotta change. Our people, I was listening to somebody say our people is the only people that don't crash out against no other race, but we only crash out on each other, which is so sad. They can do anything they want to us, and you know what I'm
man.
saying? We
It's
are
that self
protesting
hate though. Self. We
self
headed
hate.
for self destruction.
Man,
Yeah, they've been talking to us, man.
man, and we gotta listen. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get these
Music is
songs
more than what it's more than twerking, and it talks to the people. It brings the people together.
for sure.
And my husband told me, he's like, babe, I don't want no rapper. I don't want no performing. Why?
Go! Show you still got a little bit of it in.
So,
Brother,
I like to do my little karaoke, and
oh
with my,
yeah,
I do the BB thing with my grandkids and stuff. So
right,
I respect it. I get it. Because, look
right.
at the music industry. If I would have been, I could have been a statistic, baby
Man.
oil and stuff all over. No, I'm just
I know what I know, but you know what? It's good to be able to joke and laugh. You know what I'm
well,
saying?
yeah, you got to. You better.
Man, if not,
We
shit.
cried enough. I mean, I done did enough. So you got to be able to laugh and heal about it and talk about it and just say, I'm just not there anymore.
For sure.
We do recover. We do
We
get
most
better.
definitely do. Look at you, 14 years, going on 15 years of freedom. I salute you. I salute you. I salute you. You know what I'm saying?
We out
Yeah.
here.
We
We going
I almost got a decade in. You know what I'm saying? I don't plan on. You know what I'm saying?
and that's great.
That's you got to do things to work towards that. I mean, because it's easy to fall, like you said, it's easy to fall back into those
It
traps.
is. I mean,
And
and I'm not saying it's been an easy 14 years. I've had to have a reality check.
for sure,
You know what I'm saying? I've gotten grandiose before.
hmm, you know that nigga and you'll never die.
But see,
That ACP nigga, that ACP nigga
the
never die.
ACP,
He gonna always be there.
because I would be for life. No, I'm just saying. I don't have to be. I
No,
can be. I could be.
most
I could
definitely.
be. Right.
But they know that's there. We gotta make sure they always respect that. Most definitely. Thank you for continuing smiling. Thank you for always being my friend. I'm gonna let you get back to your husband. Tell him I said thank him for allowing us to spend this time to talk. You know what I'm saying? And whenever you got anything, whenever you got a book you ready to promote, just hit me up and we could
I will. I will. And whenever we
we
get
could
the
go on that.
farm up
You
and
farm
running,
anything
sending invites. I'm still in Illinois. We need to reach out and touch each other. See each
for sure.
other.
For sure,
But
for sure.
we
We can
can't
do
never
that.
say we miss each other. These cameras go both ways, right?
Man, most definitely, don't they? For
Yep.
sure. My friend, thank you. There's nothing but love.
Already.
Have a good one.
Continue to be great.
Thank you so very much. Where we